Hey everybody, it's your pal Drew Geraci, 30-year veteran in the comics industry who's worked for pretty much every company. I'm not going to waste time and list them and show off. But anyway, I'm also a big-time collector, and I've been a fan for as long as I remember. What's really odd is I have zero memories until I started discovering comics, because I had no passions at the time. I mean, it was toys and stuff, but very early I got into comics. It just drew me in. And we're going to start with 3D Man. Yeah, baby. I love this character. A lot of comic artists love this character, but a lot of general comics fans think he's stupid, and I get it. He is kind of stupid, but it's fun. Originally, I read somewhere in some fanzine, I don't know if it was Back Issue or Alter Ego, they had planned to make this a 3D comic. And I think what happened was they looked into the financials of it and decided not to do it. But I love this guy. He appeared in 3 issues of Marvel Premiere. And then once in a while he showed up. He showed up in the Hulk. Roy Thomas, writer, and he also co-created with Jim Craig, I believe. Dave Hunt, great inker. He's relatively new on the scene. He had assisted Frank Giacoia and Mike Esposito, who shared a studio. And man, anything Hunt inked was great. And that's a great pose, too. Because sometimes Jim Craig, if he's not inked the right way, it can come off real choppy. So his whole gimmick is 3D Man has the speed of 3 men, the strength of 3 men, and all that stuff. Everything with 3. I love that. I love no background in that first panel. That just adds a lot of energy to that. What are you, a red spy? This takes place in the 50s. And no, I'm going to switch to my true self. Now, do you see, Mr. Chanley? You! And what's so funny is when they lead to another page or story at the last panel, people go, "You? Have you ever had that happen to you?" I mean, as somebody, let's just say I have a cousin, Trisha, who comes down and opens the door. I wouldn't say, "You?" I would be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And if it was somebody I didn't like or whatever, I'd be like, "Hey, what do you want?" Nobody says "you." I don't know. And also, another word in comics is lover. And I was like, okay, lover. You hear that between Elongated Man and Sue Digby and Hank and the Pims. And I've never heard somebody say, like, okay, lover. So what happens is these red spies are just about to... they want to take this rocket that the older brother is going to he's going to ride. He's going to helm it. And the younger one, he's always had one bad leg, and he uses his crutch to knock the gun from the guy's hand. That's cool as hell. That's great. And well, they make it, and he's all dressed up. You wish him luck. All this stuff happens. And, like, it's the Skrulls. That's who we've been talking about. And, this Chandler dude takes everybody out. He's like, I gotta get out of here. We've got to get out of this place if it's the last we ever do. So he has some kind of radiation. Radiation affects everything. And Hal's like, Chuck. There's a blast. They have, he says, wait a minute. And they mourn Chuck in passing. And then Hal decides to look at the 2 images the same. And then out comes 3D Man. And it's Chuck. Like, yeah, man. And he can leap very well, like 3 stories. So he turns on all these different characters that Skrull does. And goes back to Hal. And we find out what the hell's going on next 2 issues. And I just love this character. He also appeared in What If number 9, which I covered on a previous episode, where it had What If the Avengers existed in the 1950s. And really cool, really cool. Let's go from the really cool to the Mighty Samson. God, I got this for $1. I want my money back. It's painfully dull. it is Western Publishing. Let's see, Western Publishing, who later on, I think it's the same Western Publishing that produced those great black and white mags that Archie Goodwin used to do of all those horror books like Eerie and such. I don't know. The art is by this guy named George Wilson, and also the cover's by George Wilson. I'm sorry, and the inside is by Jose Delbo, who became pretty big at DC in the early '70s, and Jack Abel generally inked these books. And I kept thinking, Mighty Samson, is that a cartoon? But I don't think so. I don't remember. I looked it up and I didn't see any evidence of that. But Western Publishing, I just checked my notes real quick, which I usually don't. They owned Gold Key, and which closed their doors in 1984. So, but it's not a Gold Key, because then the Gold Key on the back cover would always be the same, but without the trade dress and the words. So anyway, let me see. There was a Dark Horse collection that covered the whole series. Like they did that with Dr. Solar. They did that with Magnus Robot Fighter. Back when they were Gold Key characters. And the art is nice, but it's so. Oh yeah, Turok, all those. It's just kind of stodgy. I mean, I have to be fair. I haven't read the whole book. I've kind of glanced at it. Some panels I read. It's just like Dr. Solar. I like the character, but his books are so friggin' boring until Valiant came along and made him interesting. But nice art. So okay, I gotta wake up after that last book. Okay, but you're probably gonna say, "Oh, this is just as bad," but it's not. Angel and the Ape. This is a double I have. I have all 6 issues of these, and in my collection, which I have written on the boxes what's in there. I have all 6 issues. I cannot find it. And I wanted to show another copy, but I'll show you this one. This was another Carmen Infantino experimentation time. Angel and the Ape. And this Bob Oskner, a great cartoonist, and Wally friggin' Wood. I'm always showing off Wally Wood, and deservedly so. He makes everything really cool. There was the one issue I was looking for. It was kind of, they had a Stan Lee kind of character. His name was Stan Bragg with 2 G's, and it was funny. I mean, I dig Stan and all that, but it was just, funny is funny. So the cartooning is really strong here. And Wally Wood just makes it a fun fest. Oh, the gorilla, by the way, his professional life is a cartoonist. Oh. There he is. I gotta look back, see if I have this. He may have appeared in more than one issue. La 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 la. Huh. Anyway, there's Stan Bragg dressed as Captain America, sorta. Crummy cartoonist, your work is late, and you used to use the executive window. You know what that means? It means Cuddy's. So, wacky hijinks, DC Special, making out. I just love the way Sam Simeon is drawn. And it's so funny because nobody comments on him being an ape. That kind of thing is always fun. So, how about that? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I killed Stan. Nope. Yeah, Wally Wood's such a great finisher. And this time, I hated this so much. DC, for several years, they would do a page and then half a page, and that way they'd split the ads around, and then they'd also... And then when it came to reprints, then you had to put something in here. And it'd be like, if it was Green Lantern, then you just have a Green Lantern figure standing there. And a real shitty way to present a comic if you have... it's just dumb. And, okay, Guy Gardner, former Green Lantern. He became Green Lantern years later. He had a mini-series, it was a square-bound series called Guy Gardner. reborn, and he had his ring taken away, his Green Lantern ring taken away, and in the midst of the issue, the story, the 3-issue story, he manages to get Sinestro's yellow ring. So he's a Yellow Lantern in a sense, but not quite. He's not a bad guy like Sinestro. But then you got Lobo there. At the time, Lobo was like white hot, much like his skin. Anyway, Gerard Jones, Will Jacobs, they worked together on a book called The Trouble with Girls, and Joe Staton did the pencils. I love Joe Staton, and the inks are by Terry Beatty, who worked on, I think he did some indie books. I can't remember if it was Ms. Tree or some other stuff. Anyway, Consume Mass Quantities, the Conehead movie. Yeah, never saw it, and I don't regret it. I love that. I would love to ink Joe Sennett someday. I haven't even had a chance to do it in a commission, and I've inked a lot of comic greats in commissions. So, he wants that ring. So a lot of action, a lot of back and forth. This was at the time where some, DCs were turning into like Marvel style books. Great splash. That is a great splash. And they go round and round and round. So you're wrapping them up with this, with these girders. But Guy Gardner is a publicity guy. Bothers him. I can see the headlines now. It's fucking with Guy Gardner's concentration. You're dead meat. And I'm the tenderizer. Maybe I should give him the ring. And there's a whole complicated reason why Lobo wants the ring. He believes that Guy Gardner has welched on a bet to get the ring. And there's just no reasoning to him. I love those lines. We are the palindrome laps. Now, the thing is, it's not palindrome back and forth like the lettering. That's weird. So why call it palindrome? I don't know. I just know the really cool They Might Be Giants song. I palindrome. Okay, Iron Man 200, baby, with the new armor. First time ever that his armor was not red or gold or gray in the first issue, and this was exciting. I mean, now we have to excuse. I mean, honorable mention to Bob Layton's stealth suit, the outer space suit, the underwater suit, and some other specially suits that were created for specific reasons. So, but in the meantime, he wore the traditional Iron Man armor, but it just blew me away. However, it was spoiled. It was spoiled. You want to know why? Because, let me see if I can get to the hang in there. You just keep saying to yourself, spoiled. Why is it spoiled? Get to the bullpen page. That's not it. I should have left a note or post-it. I love my post-its, don't I? Oh, come on, don't do this to me. Well, I'll get to the point. West Coast Avengers 3 came out when this came out. West Coast Avengers 1 debuted that armor. So this wasn't a big reveal. He had already been wearing it 2 months prior in West Coast Avengers. And the way it was shown was really impressive. It showed Iron Man approaching these robots in the sky, and it had Wonder Man holding Tigra, and they're like, what is that coming towards us? And there's big full-page splash by Al Milgram where it had the new suit, and it had these robot debris all around it. So I was kind of pissed off. I'm like, yeah, okay, new armor. And believe it or not, that was designed by Bob Layton, too. And I love it. The Silver Centurion. Mark Bright, we just lost him. A really underrated penciler, could do anything. Aiken and Garvey, I love those guys. So he does the old Iron Man bit. I love that. That would make a fantastic poster. I'm gonna get. So he's going after Obadiah Stane. He flies high, and he's gonna let himself go back to what do you call, plummet back to Earth with faster speed. How about that? And Mark, that cannot be an easy draw. And also, he had this camouflage power. This is Denny O'Neil writing this, and shortly when Bob Layton and David Michelini take over, they get rid of that real quick because it just makes them too powerful. See, now we got a similar scene here with the Ironmonger. So you can see all this stuff in the first Iron Man. And nice little use of zip there. I love me some Zippertone. Okay, that's really cool. Sweet. A lot of great stuff going on. But I mean, I'm still like the silver armor. I'm still blown away by it. And not to mention the design is so different. So Obadiah Stane found all of Stark's friends. Happy Hogan, Pepper Potts, Hogan, and Bethany Cabe, all these people. And I kind of hate that. I kind of hate where they'll find the right people that'll tweak. I don't know. And then he takes the friggin' baby, this little baby that was born from a homeless woman. It's like, that's ridiculous. And he goes, I'm going to crush this baby, blah, blah, blah. So, uses these pulse bolts. And let's see, I'm not going to show you the rest. Oh, here's the bullpen bulletins. Okay, here we go. The fifth one down is West Coast Avengers number 2. Okay, so it was a month prior that we saw that the armor, and I was really disappointed. I was like, what? Anyway, it's still a great issue, and Mark Bright also, he did a lot of issues. He did the he did like 30 some issues, and a couple prior to this, I believe, and he did the Armor Awards. Armor Wars, not Armor Awards. That goes to Tony Stark. That's it, everybody. And I hope you like this. If you have any questions below, if you have any corrections for something I made a mistake, as I'm running out of my ability to speak the English language, or any language at that point, please leave comments below. Please hit like and click a subscribe, which would be great, and hit the bell for notifications, and that'll let you know when my new videos are up. It's been a while since I've done this episode. My other channel, I've been catching up because I deleted a few videos like a moron. So now I'm focusing back on this. And let me know what you think. Let us know. I'd love to hear your stories about what books you discovered, which ones you loved, which ones you went, ugh. And so I don't argue with anybody. I don't, this ain't a place for that kind of stuff. It's all, all for the love of comics. And I wish all of you well, and good day.